Very good evening, everyone. As you can see, exactly at 7 o'clock dot, in fact, before 7 itself, we were there in the meeting. But like I have always told, there are a few VIPs who feel they're going to be treated well if they're late. Unfortunately, for such kind of an audience, I'll have to wait for a couple of more minutes. But meanwhile, I want the rest of my students to please go through the last 4 classes, whatever we have had the technical discussion. Just have a quick revision done. Good evening, everyone, once again. I see quite a good number of students already present in this session. I feel it is better to kickstart with the discussion immediately. Good evening, good evening. Right. Great. I'm also sure that all of you are preparing up for the surprise quiz that can be conducted any day, any time this week. This week itself, it is going to be conducted. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be day after tomorrow, it could be sometime this week itself. The assessment is going to be conducted. So please be prepared for it. Right. Great. And I'm also believing that all of you are making notes of everything that I'm teaching, that everything that all of you are learning here, because uh, once you're listening to the session, 100% undoubtedly, trust me, undoubtedly, I'm not boasting about myself here, but I know even if there is a student from arts background and commerce background, if that person also happens to be part of this EDL training program, trust me, even that person would also understand all of the technicalities that I'm speaking throughout the classes here. So there is nothing great in terms of you understanding it. If anybody here should be praised, if anybody here should be patted on the back, once again, I am telling you, it is not out of arrogance, it is me who should be appreciated here, because it is my years and years of efforts and hard work that such complicated topics I have simplified it to a certain extent. Even though so many of you here, most of you here who hail from non-technical background, even then you're able to understand technicalities. Not only you're able to comprehend, not only you're able to understand, you're also excited about programming, you're also excited about computer science. Now, this doesn't come easily here. That is why, please do not get carried away with this. Technology is so easy, programming is so easy. So why do we have to make notes? It is. I'm not telling that you shouldn't be confident, but you shouldn't be overconfident. That is what I'm trying to break here. So please make sure, do not get carried away thinking that everything is so easy. 100% it is going to be easy. At the same time, 100% of you are learning all of these things for the first time in life. So if you want all of this information to be registered at the back of your head, and you want to recollect all of this information maybe 6 months down the line, 2 years down the line, 100% it is not going to be possible if in case you're not ready to make the notes. So please make sure you're making notes. It is extremely important for you. Right. And the right way of making notes would not be when I'm explaining something. When I'm explaining something, I want 100% of your focus on my explanation here, not even 99%. If you're listening to the lecture at the same time, you're also making running notes, 100% your focus is being divided here. I don't want that to happen. That is why my advice to all of you is, during these 2 hours, your entire focus should only be on whatever I'm explaining here. After which, maybe the next day morning or maybe next day afternoon, whenever you're free, apart from your academics, please log into the LMS. If there is an option for you to watch the same recorded video at 1.5x speed, 2x speed, please watch it, and then you should be making notes. So two benefits: while I'm explaining, you're not distracted, hence 100% clarity. Second benefit, you're also listening to the same lecture once again. So it is going to be reinforcement of learning. Whatever you have learned, once again, it is being reinforced. So a lot of probability that you're going to remember it for a long time. Right. Sandhya is asking how to log into LMS portal. We have been speaking about it since the last 4 days. Sandhya, where were you? Anyways, any doubts with respect to the LMS or logging to any platform? No, nobody has to be sorry here. It's a very heavily loaded word. Do not use it. It's okay. No problem. After the class, that means post 9 o'clock, the ExcelR team, my colleagues are here. Whatever queries you have with respect to LMS, please stay back after 9 o'clock, put it across to them. They are going to be extremely delighted to resolve all of your queries. So please make sure you await after the session and please get it clarified. All right, then it's exactly 7:11. We have waited for quite some time. Now let us quickly get started. Okay. One of the student is asking, sir, are you the topper of your college? No. Do I look like a nerd? I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to speak about myself here. I want to keep the discussion restricted only towards the subject here. Right. Perfect. Let's quickly get started then. Right. What was the topic of discussion in yesterday's class? I hope all of you had the dreams of RAM, hard disk, the bus connection, file, byte, register, loading, saving, the entire. I believe all of your dreams yesterday night were with respect to the memory organization of a computer. Okay, just a quick check for understanding. Let me see how many of you have revised and you're attending these sessions. I have already given out the definition of RAM in yesterday's class. So I need an answer from all of you. How do you define what is a RAM? See, I'll tell you what are the answers that are not acceptable here. Random access memory. You don't have to be an undergraduate student to tell me the abbreviation. 6th standard kids today can tell me what is the abbreviation of RAM. Don't tell me it is a primary memory, main memory. I'm not asking synonyms here. What is RAM also called as? I'm asking what is the definition of RAM? I don't need Google's answers here. You don't have to teach me how to Google something. I know better than you. No, some of you are going wrong. I'm not getting the expected answer here. Random access memory. I have already told you I'm not interested in the definition here. It is connected to the microprocessor. So what? I'm asking the definition here. Volatile memory. I'm not asking the features of RAM. Temporary, stores data. No. I have given out the definition in yesterday's class. I expect the definitions which I have told you in the class. Good, Sneha. Good, Akash. Good, Arif. I have reminded all of you many a times, if you're not interactive during the sessions and the team doesn't see your name at all in the meeting chat, do not expect any kind of completion certificate. Okay. Right. All right, then 90% of you are correct here, but even then I see 10% of the audience here still struggling with the actual definition of RAM. In a very simple words, I'd explain it diagrammatically. RAM is nothing but collection of bytes. I had given the mathematical proof for this. If you have a 8 GB of RAM, how many bytes would be there, sir? 800 crore bytes would be there. So the rightful definition of what a RAM is nothing but collection of bytes. That is what you're supposed to answer. Is that clear, everyone? Perfect. Now, yesterday, I could see that some of my students here are very excited as to when the programming part is going to start in Java, sir. All of these fundamentals are extremely important for us, but at the same time, we want to know when the programming part is going to start. So it is to that audience that I have this question. Let me see if you can answer this to me. Today itself, I'll start with the programming. If not, you will have to have a little bit of patience. Right, please be ready. Again, I don't expect any Google answers here. If I see any copy pasted answers here, you will be immediately kicked out of the meeting here. This is a question which is not related to Java, but if there is one such programming language, irrespective of our branch of engineering, that we have been taught in our graduation, happens to be the C programming language. So this is a question with respect to C language. Let me see how many of you will be able to answer. Can anybody tell me here, what is the difference between object file and executable file? I repeat, I want the difference between object file and executable file. Where are all of those students who were awaiting for the programming part to start? If your fundamentals are not strong, doesn't matter. Even if I would write 800 lines of code, you might just mug it up, but it is going to have absolutely zero benefit for you. Parvati, you have only told what an object file is. I didn't receive the answer for executable file. Okay, Prithviraj, no, not the right answer. It's okay. I appreciate the efforts though. Gurudevi, I did not ask two different types of softwares. I have asked the difference between object file and executable file. Object file contains source code, executable file contains compile code. No, wrong. Executable file is ready to execute. But then what is an object file? Not ready to execute, not clear difference. In object file, we can't return any methods. Good, Sneha. The difference between object file and executable file, you have been able to highlight, but I am expecting the primary difference here. I have already told you, I don't expect any Google answers here. Okay, I'll have to say this, that most of you have not given me the answer the way I'm expecting here. Okay, all right then. Right. Okay. No, I can't review each of your answers here. Once I'm done with my explanation, then you yourself do a self-evaluation. Whatever answer that I have sent to Zabi sir, is it correct or is it not correct? Was it valid or invalid? You have to review it yourself. So please observe this, everyone. Now, I hope now, since 99% of you didn't knew what is the exact difference between object file and executable file, and you're also preparing for placements, maybe in a year or two you're going to be getting placed, wants at least 8 lakhs per annum package to start and don't know such basic differences, it's a matter of embarrassment here. So at least with this thought in mind, please make sure at least for next 20 to 30 minutes till the entire explanation is completed, you don't have to get distracted at all. So please concentrate and listen to the differences here. So let us just quickly open Paint here. and I'll just share the screen. Perfect. And for time being, okay. Please let me know if the video and the audio, if there is any lag. I'll just turn off the video so that the entire bandwidth can be used only for the audio purpose. But if it is visible, that's great. Okay, perfect. Now, I don't expect any more answers in the chat box. Please do not send me anything over the meeting chat here. Listen to the differences here, right? Understand this. Great, sir. What are you planning to do, sir? See, what I want to do is, maybe I want to write a C program. Maybe for what task do you want to write the program for? Sir, I want to write a C program to perform the addition of two integer numbers. This is what I want to write the C program for. So observe this. What is it you're going to be doing, sir? Let us say I have written some instructions over here, because all of you know a program is nothing but set of instructions. So let us say all of these are instructions that we have got. And tell me, set of instructions is what is it referred to as? It is referred to as a program. Now all of you have to pay close attention here, because I would be giving backward references to our yesterday's class, memory organization. Let me see how many of you will be able to answer to this question. So please keep your hands ready on the keyboard. While I'm typing the C program in my computer, where is the C program residing? Is it on the hard disk or is it on the RAM while I'm typing? Very good. 100% it would be residing on the RAM. Very good. Because if I'm typing, that means microprocessor is giving me the CPU time. Only then I'm able to see that program. I'm able to type those characters. 100% the program is residing on the RAM. But all of you know there is a huge risk of having your data only on the RAM. If in case the power supply is cut, if the laptop battery is drained 100%, in that case, everything that is there on the RAM, all of the data is going to be permanently erased. But I don't want to lose the data. So what is that I should be doing? Very good. I'll have to take a copy of the data from the RAM. I'll have to place it on the hard disk so that the data is going to be stored permanently. And what is that process called as? Very good. It is going to be called as saving. So observe this. Assume that this is going to be the hard disk. Just a second. Let me show it like a proper hard disk over here. No, Asha, for what question are you trying to give that answer to me? Anyways, so see, this is what I would like to refer to as the hard disk drive, nothing but our HDD. Right, now see, the same C program which was previously residing on the RAM, because I have performed the saving operation, 100% it has been brought onto the hard disk. And I told you, let me see, once again, keep your hands ready. On the hard disk, whenever you want to save any data, in what format it is going to be saved on the hard disk? What is that storage location called as? Good, Sneha. No, Pranav, I'm not talking about RAM. It is the hard disk. Very good. The storage location on the hard disk, which will be able to hold the data, is what we technically refer to as a file. That means any data on the hard disk is supposed to be saved in the form of a file. That means this file, this program, C program also should be saved as a file. And all of you know, every file will have two things. It will have a file name followed by file extension. Yesterday, all of you could see it. From the internet, I downloaded a file called as sample3.txt. In that name, sample3 happens to be the name of the file. .txt is the file extension. Bahubali.mp4. In that case, Bahubali is the file name. .mp4 is the file extension. I hope all of you are able to understand. So see, for this file also, I'll give a suitable name. Okay, since I've written the C program to add two numbers, a meaningful name would be add. Now tell me, what should be the extension of the C program files? since this file is going to be containing C language code, 100% the extension has to be .c like this. Sir, what if in case it was containing C++ code? So do I have to tell .c++? No. There you should tell .cpp, Python.py, Java.java, JavaScript.js, HTML files .html, .css. Anyways, I hope all of you have been able to understand. Great. In other words, this is a file that is going to contain my C program code. Can you think and answer what type of language C language is? Machine level, assembly level, or high level? I need quick answers like this. No, some of you are answering it incorrectly because you have not watched the first day class. I can easily tell your names here. Anyways, it is up to you. C language is a high level programming language. So see, basically this file contains a high level language code. Any file that contains high level language code, technically that code is also referred to as the source code. I need some space here, so I'll just try to. And any file that contains your source code is technically referred to as a source file. So basically what I have as of now is a source file. Great, sir. My C program is ready, sir. Please execute it, you might tell. Very good. I'll have to execute the C program. Observe this. Who should execute the C program? Undoubtedly, the only person within your computer who can execute anything and everything for us is the microprocessor, nothing but the CPU. So see, observe this. I'm writing it as MP, but you don't write MP. While you're copying, you should write it as mu-p. And we also understood something very fundamental about this microprocessor or the CPU, that it is going to understand only zeros and ones, and it is not going to understand anything else. Now you please think and answer. Did I write my C program in zeros and ones? 100% no. I have written it in high level language here. So what is it I'll have to do? Raki, I'm audible to everyone else. So if you can't hear me, I would request you to maybe quit the meeting and rejoin the meeting once again, or maybe try restarting the device that you're connected from. Anyways, now observe this. I have written my C program in high level language, but this microprocessor who should execute my program can understand only zeros and ones. Clearly, there is a miscommunication gap here. So what is it I should be doing? I will have to definitely take this high level language code and then I'll have to convert it into machine level language code. Only then the CPU is going to be understanding it. And this long back I have explained it. Tell me, to convert high level language into machine level language, what is the software I should be using? Please don't tell me only compiler. I have told you there are two options, compiler and interpreter or interpreter. But then C language happens to be a compiled programming language. Here we can't use the interpreter. So observe this. What is it you're trying to do, sir? What am I trying to do here is I will simply take this high level language code and I would give it to a software. And what is the name of that software, sir? It is the C compiler. So see, I would give it as input to the compiler like this. How are you planning to do it, sir? I would take this high level language code. I would give it as input to the compiler. The job of the compiler is whatever code was written in high level language, as it is going to convert it into machine level language code. And that machine level language code, automatically the compiler is going to store it on the hard disk itself. So see, maybe I would say this is going to be the machine level language code here. Some random machine level language code is what I'm writing it here. So see, automatically compiler is going to save that machine level language code onto the hard disk. And you know, if any data is going to be saved on the hard disk, in what format it has to be saved? Very good. It should be saved in the form of a file. So please observe this. It is going to be saved in the form of a file. Sir, you had also told us every file will have two things, file name and file extension. What is the name of this file? Sir, very simple. What is the name of your source file? Add. Hence, the name of this file is also going to be add. Sir, what about the extension, sir? Understand this. I told you, any file that is containing high-level language code. High-level language code is also called as source code. But then this is your machine level language code. Observe this. This is your machine level language code. Machine level language code in C language, which is the output of the compiler, is also technically referred to as object code. It is also referred to as object code. And such a file in C language, my friends, congratulations, this file itself is going to be technically referred to as object file. That's all. Since it is a file which is going to contain object code and it is called as object file, that is why the extension of this file is going to be .obj, which is automatically going to be generated by the compiler. This is the output of the compiler. Am I clear with this? So one thing about object file is clear. Object file is the output of the compiler. Object file contains the machine level language code. This is what we have been able to understand so far. Oh, great, sir. Next what, sir? Next what means, no, please understand this. Can you tell me why did I do this circus? Taking high level language code, give it as input to the compiler then converting it into machine level language code. Why do I have to do this circus, man? It is all because of the microprocessor. The processor understands only machine level language code. That is why I had to do this circus here. Oh, great, sir. You have converted into machine level language code. Now, sir, why don't you take this machine level language code, send it to the microprocessor, let the microprocessor execute, you might tell, but unfortunately, I can't do this. Sir, now what is your problem, sir? Asha might ask me this question. I don't have any problem. The problem is once again with the microprocessor. Sir, what problem, sir? You said microprocessor understands zeros and ones. This file is containing code in zeros and ones. But even then you are telling it can't be executable. It is not executable. Understand. I will give you the analogy. You yourself will understand everything. See, I have this question for all of you. Do all of you understand English? Do all of you know all of the 26 English alphabets? Hey, I'm not asking any rocket science question, man. At least for this you answer. Don't become a mute spectator in life. It is your career. Good. All of you have confirmed to me that you understand all of the 26 English alphabets. Good, good, good. Okay. No. Some of you are thinking it is because I have not loaded this onto the RAM. Okay, even if you load it, even then microprocessor can't understand. So that is not the reason behind. I will tell you the reason behind. So all of you have confirmed you understand all of the 26 English alphabets from A to Z. That means what you're indirectly trying to tell me is, sir, you give us any word which has got these one of these 26 English alphabets, we will tell you the meaning of it. Wonderful. Let me verify that. Let us say, I want all of you to tell me the meaning of this word here. Let us say, I want you to tell me the meaning of, just a second, I'm thinking some word. Okay. Right. Please tell me what is the meaning of this word? SRIE. Quickly. Hey, no, you can't tell me that you don't know the meaning, because just before a minute, all of you have confirmed to me that you understand all of the 26 English alphabets. Have I not used four of the English alphabets here in this word? Yes, R, I, E. All the four happens to be one of the 26 English alphabets here. Then how can you tell me you don't understand, man? What is the meaning of this word? Yes, R, I, E. I'm asking the meaning. Some of you are telling ASCII, string. No, 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 not technical. English meaning is what I'm asking. Pravalika is absolutely right. She's telling, sir, we understand 26 English alphabets, but it has to be a meaningful word. Just like how, okay, I want all of you to stop sending the messages for me. No, good, good. I appreciate. Just like how all of you are human beings, whenever you are being asked this question, do you understand all 26 English alphabets? Yes. But it doesn't mean anybody can randomly arrange those 26 English alphabets, can shoot at you and ask you, hey, tell me the meaning of this. How clueless you're currently, that is how the microprocessor is. You can't tell me, sir, microprocessor understands zeros and ones, so I will shoot random zeros and ones to the microprocessor. It will understand and execute it. What situation you are currently, it is the same situation with respect to the microprocessor. What are you trying to say, sir? As of now, this word that I have shown you here, intentionally, it is an incomplete word. Sir, what is missing, sir? What is missing here is in between yes and R, there is a character that is missing here, which is nothing but E. Next word, sir. After R, there is one more character that is missing here. What is that, sir? It is nothing but V. After I, there is one more character that is missing here. It is nothing but C. In other words, when I gave you the previous word, it was an incomplete word. Now it is a complete word. Now, if I ask you, can you tell me what is the meaning of this English word service? 100%, I'm sure all of you are going to tell me what is the meaning of this word. Did you understand the logic behind this? That is why I explain everything with an example, with an analogy here. Previously, it was incomplete. That is why our human mind was not able to understand it. Same is the case with microprocessor. Whatever code that you have in your object file, it is incomplete. That is why your microprocessor can't understand. Just like how you understand 26 English alphabets, but if I randomly shoot any word like this, you're not understanding. So just like how, just because microprocessor understands zeros and ones, you can't give any incomplete zeros and ones to it. It should be complete. Now, I know what is bothering to all of you is this big question as to how come the code which is present in my object file, it is an incomplete file. That is the bigger question that all of you have it now. That is what I have to explain. I told you, what is the job of the compiler? To convert your high level language code to machine level language code as it is. The last sentence, the last words are important here. As it is going to do the conversion. Now, why your object file is incomplete? You will have to think a lot, whatever I'm explaining here. Why your object file is incomplete? It is because your source code is also incomplete. You take something that is incomplete, give it to a software that is going to do the conversion exactly as it is. Obviously, the output is also going to be incomplete. Now, what you are wondering is, sir, we thought only this object file is incomplete, but now you're telling it is because your source code is also incomplete. Sir, why is my source code incomplete? Sir, I have only written the program. That is what I'm trying to tell you. In your entire life, neither you nor I, we both of us have not written a single complete program in life. Sir, what blatant statement are you making, sir? I have written so many programs. I have cleared so many exams. So many lab exams also have cleared, sir. I've got output also, sir. Even then, I stand by my statement. You have not written a single complete program on your own. I'll give you an example here. In your C language also here, whenever you have to scan any data from the keyboard, you want to take the input from the user. Which function are you going to make use of? What is the name of the inbuilt function that you're going to be making use of? Good, Yogshri. Good, Ayush. Kalyani. Tadi. Okay. Sneha. Rasagna. Sara Sultana. Good. Divakar. Parvati. Kirtana. Aryan. Good. All of you are absolutely right. It is this scanf function that you're going to be using. Now, my question to all of you here is, did you use the scanf function like this? Okay, I don't have space. Okay, I'll just write it over here. Did you tell scanf, did you open the parenthesis? Then did you also provide within the curly braces the body for the scanf function like this? 100% no. It was an inbuilt function. The inventor of C language, Dennis Ritchie, has already given the code for this function. That is why these functions are technically called as inbuilt functions. It is already predefined. It is coded already in the language. That means never in our life we have defined the body of the scanf function. So see, I'm going to put a scratch on this, strike it out. All that we have done is we have simply called this function. That is why at the end of the function name, I don't know how many of you remember, we also place a semicolon here. That means we are only calling the function. Good. Whenever you want to print something in C language, what is the function name that you're going to be using? Very good. It is the printf function that you should be using. My question to all of you, my question to Vaishnavi, my question to Aryan, my question to Priya here is, did you ever provide within the curly braces what is the body of the printf function? How that string type of data should be taken, how it should be converted into a stream of bytes, and how those characters should be displayed on the console of your screen. Did you write the code for this? 100% no. Who has written the code for this, sir? It is the inventor. Dennis Ritchie has written the code. We did not give the body. All that we have done is we have simply called the function. That is why we placed a semicolon telling end. That's all. That is the end of that statement. Am I clear with this, everyone? Similarly, we have made use of numerous inbuilt functions within our program. There is a function called as getCH, get character. For that also body was not provided. Whenever you want the output of the previous program to be cleared from the screen, you have a function called as the clear screen function. All of these functions we were only calling, we were not defining it. Now, do you agree with me that none of our programs were complete programs? Every time we wanted to write some or the other program, we were always dependent on the inbuilt functions. That is why I told you our programs are incomplete programs. But sir, if the programs are incomplete, how am I able to get the message compilation successful? Because you have told very smartly to the compiler, I don't know how many of you recollect, always at the beginning of your C program, do you remember what was that first line? Hash include stdio.h, conio.h. Technically, we call those statements as preprocessor directives. See, this is how you had written it as hash include standard input output.h. Correct. Hash include conio.h, math.h, string.h. Whenever you provide the header file, though compiler sees a programmer is calling scanf, but he did not give the body, but to the compiler you said, where is the body present? That address was given. It is present in a file whose name happens to be standard input output, stdio. Correct. Are you not? See, scanf and printf, what activity are they doing? Input output activity. From what devices? Standard devices, keyboard, monitor. That is why the name of this file is standard input output, stdio. Am I clear with this? Sir, in one breath, you're telling compiler will not generate any error because I have given the location where the code is going to be present. Then you're telling your object file is incomplete. Correct. Compiler will only check, okay, the programmer has not given the body for all of these inbuilt functions, but he has given the place where the code can be found. That's all. compiler will not go to that place, fetch the code from there, and it is not going to link it to your incomplete file and make it complete file. That is not the job of the compiler. The job of the compiler is to convert your high level language code into machine level language code as it is, without doing any additions to it. Is that clear, everyone? Perfect, sir. Sir, now I understand why my object file is incomplete. Because can you tell me why the object file is incomplete now? It is incomplete because it does not contain the code for the inbuilt functions, for the library functions. Sir, where the hell is the code present for these inbuilt functions, sir? Whenever you download a C language compiler onto your computers, automatically on your hard disk, few files are going to be created whenever you download it. What are those files, sir? These are only those files. Observe this. Observe this, all of you. These are only those files. Sir, do I have to create it? I'm telling you, you don't have to do it. Whenever you download C language onto your computer, automatically these files are going to be created. Sir, what is the name of this file, sir? The name of this file is going to be standard input output. It is not going to be .h, it is going to be .lib. Technically, these files are called as library files. This is going to be onyo.lib. This is going to be math.lib, string.lib. Like this, there are numerous library files that are going to be created. I'm going to show just a few of them. Sir, what will be there in this library file, sir? These library files are going to contain the code for the inbuilt functions, for the library functions. But now, what is most important here is the $1,000,000 question here is, in what language do these library files contain the code? Are they going to contain the code in high level language or machine level language? What do you think? Okay, those of you who are telling high level language, I have a simple question here. Tell me, is your object file complete file, incomplete file? It is incomplete. Now you want to complete this object file. It is already containing machine level language code. Can you take high level language, add it to machine level language and make it complete? I hope all of you are understanding it. That equation doesn't fit well here. In other words, in what language are these library files going to contain the code in, sir? They're definitely going to contain the code in machine level language like this. See? This is also another famous interview question. In what language the library files contain code in? You should always remember, library files contain code in machine level language. Am I clear with this, everyone? Great, sir. We understood, sir, that this object file is incomplete and the code for library, the code for the inbuilt functions is present in these library files. All that we have to do now is take the code from these library files, link it to the object file, then it is going to become a complete code. How to do that, sir? To do that activity, once again, you have to use another software now. What is the name of that software, sir? I hope all of you are understanding. Don't get lost like a movie story here. Understand, all of these are technicalities here. The name of that software, very good, Kalyani. This is nothing but the linker software. What is the job of the linker, sir? Job of the linker is to take your object file as one of the inputs and take the library files as another input. Sometimes you would have seen, you will not be just writing hash include stdio.h. You will write conio.h, stdio.h, string.h. So can it read multiple library files as input? Absolutely, yes. Am I clear with this? So now linker is going to take the code from these library files. It is going to link it with your object code and it is going to generate the complete machine level language code. because machine level language code plus machine level language code is another machine level language code. And that machine level language code also, my friends, it is going to be generating onto the hard disk itself. So see, it is going to generate it on the hard disk. And all of you know, anything, any data in the hard disk should be saved in what format? In the form of a file. That is not at all new to us. See, this is another file that would be generated. But most importantly, can you tell me in what language will it be containing the code in? Obviously, machine level language code. Two machine level language codes combined together is another machine level language code. So see, observe this. I'll just write some random machine level language code here. This is going to contain the code in machine level language. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Great, sir. Next what, sir? Next what means? See, I forgot to tell you, all of these three files, stdio.lib, conio.lib, math.lib, what are they going to be called as, sir? They are going to be called as library files. And their code is technically called as the library code. Anyways, so how many files have we seen so far? Source file, object file, library files. Sir, what about this file, which is the output of the linker? You please think and answer. Whatever code, see, I'll do one thing. I'll highlight it over here. Whatever code this file is containing, can I execute this code now by the microprocessor? Yes, for two reasons. It is in machine level language. It is also complete. So obviously it is going to make sense to microprocessor. So can it be executed? Absolutely yes. That is the reason why this code is also technically called as executable code, because it can be executed. Now some of you are answering it. And can you tell me what is the name of this file? Very good. This file is technically called as the executable file. And what would be the name of this file, sir? It would be add. Since it is executable file, its extension would be .exe. Is that clear, everyone? 100% yes. This was the question at the beginning of the class today. What is the difference between object file and executable file? Now I will tell you the differences. Object file is an incomplete file because it doesn't contain the code from the library files. But your executable file is a complete file because as it contains the code from the library files. Object file is the output of the compiler. Executable file is the output of the linker. Object file cannot be executed. Executable file can be executed. Object file occupies less space because library code is not yet linked, but executable file occupies a lot of space. These are the differences. Is that clear, everyone? No, one of the students here is asking how is the compiler and the linker working? Literally in computer science engineering, there is a complete subject for 6 long months that is dedicated called as compiler design. You are asking me to explain that entire 6 months of subject in just 2 minutes here. It is not possible. Within your compiler, there will be so many other sub softwares. There will be so many other phases. There is a phase called as there is something called as the parsing mechanism. There is something called as the lexical analysis that is going to be taking place. A parse tree is going to be generated. Code optimization is going to be performed. Many things are going to happen within the compiler. All of that is not relevant. You should know what is the input, what is the output. Anyways, did you understand the differences between object file and executable file? Once again, once the diagram is complete, I would once again reveal the differences. Now, please understand. Great, sir. Now we have got the executable code. Can you get it executed, sir? Of course I can. But you know from yesterday's class, your hard disk is not directly connected to microprocessor. Who is there in between? Very good. In between, we have got the semiconductor technology memory device called as the RAM. So observe this. Good, good, good. So we have got RAM here. So what would happen, sir? Now you should take a copy of this data and place it onto the RAM. What is that process technically called as? Very good. That is called as loading. So please observe this. Observe this. To perform loading also, there is a separate software that is provided to us. What is the name of this software, sir? The name of this software itself is the loader software. What is the job of the loader software, sir? To take the code from the hard disk and it is going to load it onto the RAM. See, the same code. I'll do one thing instead of writing it again and again. I'll see if I can just copy this as it is. Perfect. I'll just put it on the RAM like this. So see, the same code has been brought onto the RAM. And you please think an answer. On the hard disk, it is called as executable file. But when I bring to the RAM, will it be called as an executable file? So what will it be called as? I need an answer. Storage location on the hard disk is called as a file. What about the storage location on the RAM? Good, Yogshri. Good, Shrishti. Good. It is going to be called as, no, some of you are telling bits, data, wrong. It is going to be called as a byte. But observe this, it is not just one byte here. That is why, technically speaking, the same thing, when it comes onto the RAM, we refer to it as an executable image. That is what it is going to be called as. Sir, why is it called as an image, sir? It is basically, what you have done here is you have taken a snapshot of this code from the hard disk and you have placed it onto the RAM. That is why it is technically called as an executable image. And we also know that our RAM is directly connected to the microprocessor via the bus connection like this. Hence, all of these machine level language instructions would flow through this bus connection and they're going to be processed and executed by the microprocessor, and as a result of which we would also definitely be getting the output as well. Is that clear, everyone? Right. So with this, it is exactly 8 o'clock now, 1 minute for 8 o'clock, and we have completed understanding the differences between object file and executable file. And after attending the 60 minutes of discussion here, I believe for your remaining 60 years of lifespan, you're not going to forget the differences between object file and executable file. I'm once again going to list out the differences. Try to understand them. Most important difference here, object file is an incomplete file, executable file is a complete file. It is because object file does not contain the library code, but your executable file contains the code from the library files. Object file is the output of the compiler, executable file is the output of the linker. Object file cannot be executed, executable file can be executed, and you can clearly see it in the diagram also here. Between object file and executable file, common sense, who is going to occupy more space on the hard disk? Undoubtedly it is executable file. Why? Because it is containing object code also and the code from the library files also. Obviously it is going to occupy a lot of space. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Now, it is extremely disappointing when I'm explaining such an important concept here. Suddenly, there is somebody here who's so interested in the attendance link here. If you're attending these sessions only for the sake of attendance, you can immediately leave the meeting. I would give you 100% attendance. And at the end of the training program here, I would also issue the certificate for you. Please take that certificate, put a frame to it and put it in your room. Because you would have understood all of these technicalities only on the sheet of paper. Nothing would be there in your head. What is important for you in life? Is it attendance or this knowledge? Don't make me take your name here. Right. Did all of you understand the differences between object file and executable file? In the process, I've also explained you many things. What is a source file? What is an object file? What are library files? In what language would the library files contain the code in? Source file means it is a file that is generated by the programmer. We write the program, and whatever file in which we are going to save that program in, that file is what is technically called as a source file. Right. I will not be able. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the compliments. Good that you're able to understand. Okay, I've also got one more response here. Can you please explain once again, sir? I'm sorry, I will not be able to do it. It would be a waste of time because everything here, at least 3 times, I have repeated and explained it. So if you have joined late or for whatever reason you're asking me, please watch the recording on the LMS. You'll understand it once again. I am from EC background, even though I'm understanding your class. I mean, I have no words. This is the kind of response I wanted to see here. All right, then just have a look at this diagram and just give me a minute. I'll be back. Try to recollect, try to revise. Whenever this question is asked in the interviews, you should explain the way I have explained the things here. You should ask for a sheet of paper and explain. Just give me a second. I will be back. Right. Let's continue with the discussion. In between, I've got few messages here. Sir, stdio. It is not studio. It is stdio standard input output.lib is a library file, right? Yes, it is. It is a library file. Okay, perfect. Right. Now see, okay, I think it's better if I keep the diagram visible, then ask you this question. Let me see how many of you will be able to answer this question. All of your hands on the keyboard. What is the difference between header file and library file? You can see in the diagram itself, there is something called as stdio.h. Such files are called as header files. There is also something called as stdio.lib. That is a library file. So what is the difference? Thank you so much, Saifan Sayed. Now, extension is the difference. Don't answer this uh, kind of answers in the interviews. You will not be asked any other question. Directly, you will be, I don't think offer letter will be issued. They will tell, we will get back to you. Never in their life, they will get back to you. Sir, difference .h.lib. I am asking what is the difference between header file and library file. Okay, some of you are answering it correct. But again, it is a partial difference that you're trying to tell me. Header files contain code in high-level language. Library files contain code in machine-level language. Okay, that is okay. But then what is the job of header file and machine library file? What do they contain? What is that code for? The Rishita Mandapalli. Good, Rishita. Okay, anyways, this is going to be the assignment. Let us see how many of you will come back with the actual explanation in tomorrow's class. I want the answer for differences between header file and library file. You don't know the answer, you better figure out the answer and attend the tomorrow's class. You go crawl through the web, you watch some YouTube videos, you do whatever you want. I need the answer in tomorrow's class. This is going to be the assignment, because everything I don't want to spoon feed here. You should also have that research mindset within you. So make sure that is going to be cultivated. And tomorrow I need the answer for this. With that being said, okay, if anybody would need a screenshot for this, you can take a screenshot of this. Anyways, you'll watch it once again. But if you need for your reference, you can take a screenshot of this. Is it done? Okay, perfect. Now observe this. Just a few more terminologies with respect to the same discussion here. See, this linker that you see here, it is also sometimes referred to as, because you should not get confused, it is also called as linkage editor. Both means the same thing. Linker, linkage editor, both means the same thing. Is it clear, everyone? All right. Another thing here is, observe this. See, for you to link the object file with the library files code, what software do you have to make use of? Linker. Then once you get the executable file, to get it executed by the microprocessor, you should also load it onto the RAM. For that, you have to use a software called as loader. That means to perform linking and loading, you're using two different softwares here. Sir, can this be done by using a single software? Yes, it is possible. How is it going to be possible, sir? That is what I'm explaining. So quickly observe this, whatever I'm explaining here. Okay, I don't want to erase everything. I'll just do the changes here itself. See, instead of using linker and loader separately, what you can do is, there is a software that you can be using it, which is going to be doing both of the jobs here. What is the name of this software, sir? Please observe this here. The name of this software happens to be linking loader. That is the name of the software. It is there in the name itself. It is going to do both linking as well as loading for you. But what is the working of this software, sir? Understand, that is what I'm going to be explaining here. Linking loader, the input is going to be object file code and the library files code. But then the difference is it is not going to send the executable code onto the hard disk. This is where the difference comes into the picture. So see, this executable file will not even be generated. But sir, whatever after linking the executable code, what would happen to that executable code, sir? Correct, boss. That is why I have told you the name of this software is linking loader. Once the linking activity is completed, it is going to directly take that executable code and directly it is going to be loaded onto the RAM like this. I hope all of you have understood what is the difference between using linker separately, loader separately, and using linking loader as a single software. This is the difference. Am I clear with this, everyone? No. The ball is in your court. I want you to tell me which is better, using linker loader separately or using linking loader as a single software. Single software, linking loader is better separately, sir. Aniket says separately. Okay. Seba Tanvir, linking loader also. Okay. Good, Ajay. Every single one of you, except Ajay, whatever answer you have sent it to me, everyone is wrong. If you have sent me the answer as linking loader, you're wrong. If you have sent me the answer as linker loader separately, even then you're wrong. Sir, then what is the right answer, sir? The right answer should be good, Manogna. It depends on the situation. I have told you previously also, do not favor one software over the other. Every software has got its own pros and cons. Sir, can you tell me in what situation I will have to use the linker and loader separately? Let us say you have got a program that you want to execute it 100 times. Think and answer. Now, when I'm explaining, I don't expect any responses. Please concentrate here. If you want to execute the same program 100 times, if you use linking loader, how many times linking should be done? 100 times linking should be done, because whatever executable code that was generated previously, did you store it on the hard disk? No, it was stored on the RAM, and once the execution was done, the data was deleted. Second time when you want to execute the same program, once again first link it, then load it, then execute it. In other words, to execute the program 100 times, how many times linking? 100 times. How many times loading? 100 times. But if in case we had gone with the linker separately, loader separately, if you link it only once, will you get a separate executable file on your computer? Yes. Take that executable file, load it 100 times, execute it 100 times. How many times are you doing linking here? Just once. Don't you think you're going to be saving so much of time there? Absolutely, yes. So whenever you want to perform repetitive execution, go with linker separately, loader separately softwares. But let us say you want to execute one such program exactly once. Why to waste memory in your hard disk? Why to waste so much of space on the hard disk generating code, then loading onto the RAM? Directly generate, load it, finish the task, done. Here, memory can be saved. In the previous scenario, time can be saved. I hope all of you are understanding. Repetitive execution, go with linker separately, loader separately. You'll save time. only one execution, single execution, go with linking loader as a single software. You will be able to save time. You'll be able to save space here. Am I clear with this, everyone? Anyways, this also, once again, while you're watching the recorded video, you can make a separate note of this diagram also. Right, let us proceed forward. I'm just going to erase everything that's on the screen. Observe this. I see some of the VIPs have joined after 8 o'clock. Good man. Just, I don't really understand this mentality of these students. There is this recent movie which I am also quite excited for watching, Jawan. The entire country is going crazy about it. A 3 hours of movie. We are so punctual to the movie theaters. At least half an hour before the movie starts, we go and occupy the seat in the movie theater. At least, if not inside the theater, maybe you are somewhere in the surrounding itself. You're simply doing some time pass there to watch a 3 hours of movie. Has anybody in your entire life, I see that there are almost 550 participants here, 550 students, huge audience. In YouTube also, I'm sure there are at least 150 people who are watching it. So this is to the at least to 700 citizens of this country. Have you ever gone to a movie of 3 hours, 1.5 hours late to the movie theater after the interval? No. Why? Because after the interval, if you miss the first part, nothing is going to be understood. Then, I mean, how could you imagine a technical discussion, hardcore technical training session started at 7 o'clock, you join at 8 o'clock, and you think you'll understand everything? I've just shown a mirror in front of you. It is up to you now. If you have come here for attendance because it was told to you between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, the attendance link would be posted. I'm telling you, for all such students here, if you think you're trying to fool me or the ExcelR team, I mean, all that I can tell is you are fooling yourself. You think you're fooling your parents, you think you're fooling me, you're fooling the ExcelR team, you're fooling yourself. Because if you don't attend here, if you only come here for the purpose of attendance, do you think it is going to have 0.00001% of impact on my life or the ExcelR company's growth? You're mistaken. There's absolutely no impact. Whose life is going to be impacted here is it is your life. It is such fools only who after the graduation will sit idle, jobless in their home for at least minimum 6 months. Come for attendance, you will have good attendance. After the graduation, you'll not have a good job. That is all I can say. Right. Now let's concentrate here, everyone. See, okay, it's already 8:20. I've got just 40 more minutes. Observe this. There is a lot of discussion yet to be completed. See, I told you the first day, whenever you want to convert high-level language code into machine-level language code, tell me, what is that I should be doing? How will I be able to do this conversion? I can do this conversion using two different softwares. Either I can use the compiler or I can also use the interpreter software. I hope all of you agree with this. Whenever you want to convert high-level language code into machine-level language code, there are two options. No, 1 second. How can you outsmart me and the ExcelR team? It is not possible. So we'll do one thing. Tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards, the attendance and feedback link is not going to be posted at 8:30. Between 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, randomly, I am going to decide at what time the link is going to be sent across in the meeting chat as well as the YouTube live chat. And the window for you to register for the attendance would be 10 minutes. For example, tomorrow, I'm just giving a random time slot here. Suddenly at 7:20, I will ask my colleague Chandana ma'am here to immediately post the link for the attendance and feedback. I would also keep the window open for 10 minutes. Maybe 2 to 3 minutes of time would also be given. Day after tomorrow, I will send the link at 8:40. So if you think you are the smartest person in the room, you have no idea who is the trainer yet. Anyways, so that is going to be the rule from tomorrow. Checkmate. Observe this. You come at whatever time you want. Okay, perfect. So tell me, to convert high-level language code into machine-level language code, what softwares do we have? Compiler and interpreter. It is now the right time for us to understand the differences between compiler and interpreter. Because first day I told you, as of now, just mechanically remember, to convert high-level language code into machine-level language code, there are two softwares available. What really is the difference? When time comes, I would explain. I had told. Now the time has arisen. Am I clear with this? So, sir, what really is the difference, sir? That is what I'm trying to explain here. Please concentrate and understand. I will not be able to complete the discussion of this in 8 minutes. So, Chandana ma'am, it's a request. Please do not send the attendance link at 8:30 today. Once the discussion is completed around 8:35, you can send the link because they would be distracted in between. Okay, observe this. First of all, let us say I want to explain the compilation process first. That is what I would like to explain. Next, after this, I want to explain the interpretation process. So observe this. Let us say I am going to have, I would write some C program code like this. Let us say this is some C program code. And I have already told you what the file is going to be referred to as. Maybe I would call this as add.c like this. File name, file extension. Just before some time when I was explaining object file and executable file, I have already discussed it. Next, what is that you're going to be doing it, sir? I'm going to take this high-level language code, which is present in add.c. If this has to be executed, tell me who should execute this? Hey, who should execute this? Yes, it is going to be the microprocessor. So see, maybe this itself is a microprocessor or the CPU. One second. This is the CPU or the microprocessor, and we also understand fundamental about this, which is it understand only zeros and ones. Perfect, sir. Great, sir. But all of you know this file contains high-level language code. Hence, can it be executed by the microprocessor? Definitely it is not going to be possible. So what is that I should be doing? I will have to convert this high level language code into machine level language code. And in the compilation process, my friends, I'm going to use a software called as the compiler. That is the software that I'm going to be using it. So please observe this. This is the software that I would be using here. What is the job of the compiler, sir? The job of the compiler is to read the entire high level language code in one shot as input and immediately convert it, all of the high level language instructions, into machine level language code like this. So see, this is going to be the output of the compiler. And I don't have to repeat once again the entire story because just now I have spoken about it. The name of this file is going to be add.obj. All of that story I've explained it. What is this .obj? What is that object code? Everything. So basically, it is going to be containing machine level language code like this. Perfect. Next, sir. Of course, this is going to be incomplete code. So what is it we should be doing? We should take it. We should give it as input to another software called as the linker. Okay. Anyways, from here, it is going to be the same story once again. But through this discussion, what you are awaiting to understand is the difference between compiler and interpreter that I will explain. Don't worry about it. If you give it as input to the linker is also going to take your, along with your object file, it will also take library files as another input. All of that story I don't want to speak once again. So library files code would also be taken, and it is going to generate a complete machine level language code, because your object file contained incomplete machine level language code. What is the name of this file, sir? I don't think so. You are going to ask me that question. It is add.exe, and it is going to be containing complete machine level language code like this. Perfect. Next word, sir. Okay. This is so tedious task here. For you, it is so easy, but for me, drawing and simultaneously explaining, trust me, I would any day prefer the chalk and talk mode on a whiteboard. Using this paints applications and drawing technical things is very time consuming and tedious activity. Anyways, once you give it to loader is immediately going to load it onto the RAM. Okay, so once again, I'll have to show the same code. The snapshot will be taken and it is going to be loaded onto the RAM. It is the executable image. All of that is known to all of us. Then finally, the RAM and the microprocessor are connected with each other via the bus connection like this. The instructions are going to flow, and immediately the microprocessor is going to execute, and it is also going to produce output for us. Congratulations. Perfect. Once again, I had to explain the entire process altogether. But I know what all of you are more curious to know is, sir, tell us what is the difference between compiler and interpreter. Don't worry, that is what I'm going to tell you. Now observe this. Let us say this time I want to write the program to perform addition of two numbers in high level language itself. But the high level programming language that I'm going to choose this time happens to be JavaScript. Now let us say I've written the program to add two numbers in a programming language called as JavaScript like this, which also undoubtedly happens to be high level language, no doubt about it. And when I save this program, let it be C program or JavaScript program. Whenever you save it on the hard disk, it should definitely be saved in the form of a file, no doubt about it. Right. So I'll just keep my video off for a minute. Let the bandwidth be used for the audio purpose. And see, I'm going to call this file as, this time I can't call it as add.c. I'm going to call it as add.js. Can you tell me the reason why? Because this code contains the JavaScript code. Perfect, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means no. Okay, I'll just keep the video on. I know you'll understand it better. This time also, if you ask me who should be executing this JavaScript code, undoubtedly, let it be C program code or the JavaScript code, it is going to be your microprocessor itself that should be executing it. So see, this itself is our CPU. And you know that this understands only zeros and ones. Next word, sir. To convert the high level language code into machine level language code so that my CPU can execute it. This time, I am not going to use compiler. I'm going to use a software called as the interpreter. What really is the difference, sir? In 30 seconds from now, you will understand what is the difference. Sir, what happens in case of interpreter, sir? Let us say in this file, in this source file here, which is containing high level language instructions, if in case there are 100 lines of code, your compiler, first time I'll speak about compiler. Your compiler will read all 100 lines of code at once, and in one shot, in one go, it is going to convert all of those 100 lines of code into machine level language instructions at one, and it is going to be finishing the job. But whereas your interpreter, now comes the difference. Your interpreter will not take all the 100 high-level language instructions at once and convert them. It is going to do the conversion line by line, instruction by instruction. That is how the conversion is going to happen. Good Rasagna, good Manogna. Oh, what are rhyming names? Anyways, so see, what would happen to the interpreter, sir? It is first of all going to read the first line, first high-level language instruction. See, listen to this, everyone. First high-level language instruction will be read. It is going to be converted into machine level language code, and that machine level language code for one instruction will not be stored anywhere on the hard disk. That means the output of the interpreter is not in the form of a file. Then where is it going to be generated, sir? Once it is generated, your interpreter would directly load it onto the RAM. Unlike the compiler. See, what is the output of the compiler here? Add.obj. It is a file. That means where is it present? On the hard disk. But what about interpreter? Interpreter will do the conversion, and it is going to directly load it onto the RAM like this. So see, that first high-level language instruction will be converted into machine level language code like this. Maybe this is the machine level language code for one instruction. Now, what is it technically called as, sir? Technically, this time we'll not call it as executable image. This time you're going to call it as executable byte, because only one instruction has been converted. Next word, sir. Once it is converted, once anything comes onto the RAM, you know this person is connected to the boss of your computer, the brain of your computer, which is nothing but the CPU. So immediately this instruction is going to be executed by the CPU, and only for that particular instruction, the output is also going to be produced. But think and answer. Did I execute all 100 lines in my program? Absolutely no. Only one statement was executed. Hence, immediately after executing the first instruction, control will be once again given back to the interpreter like this. This time, what will happen to the interpreter, sir? Interpreter this time is going to fetch the second instruction. That second instruction will be converted into machine level language code. It will be executed. Once again, control will come all the way back to the interpreter. Fetch, convert, execute, fetch, convert, execute, fetch, convert, execute. This is the same cycle that is going to repeat for all of the 100 instructions that are present within your source file. This is the difference between the compiler and interpreter. Your compiler will convert your entire high-level language code into machine-level language code in one shot. But your interpreter will convert high-level language code into machine-level language code line by line, instruction by instruction, one line at a time. Am I clear with this? Did you get a brief idea about what really is the difference between compiler and interpreter? Don't worry, there is more for me to speak. Tell me, the output of the compiler, where is it going to be sent to? It is going to be on the hard disk. That is why it is in the form of a file. So see, it's better I'll write that hard disk also here. But what about the output of the interpreter? Will it be sent to hard disk? Important difference to be noted here. It is going to be sent directly to the RAM. Am I clear with this, everyone? Perfect. Now, once again, I'm asking you this question. Which of these two softwares, compiler or interpreter, is better? I'll keep the video off for a while. Once again, some of you are easily falling into the trap here. Which is better, compiler or interpreter? Never ever favor one software over the other. How many times do I have to repeat this statement? Have you all watched that Ghajni movie? He also keeps forgetting things in life. So you know what does he does? He writes it on his body. So you better write it on your body somewhere. Never favor a software over the other. Both are better. It depends on the scenario, the situation, when which software has to be used. For example, when should you use compiler? Obviously, whenever you use compiler, speed of execution is going to be better, because directly at once conversion will be done and you can proceed for execution. But in case of interpretation, it is comparatively slow. When you compare with compilation process, it is slow. Then when do we have to prefer interpretation, sir? Whenever you have to perform debugging operation. Debugging means, let us say, if you have 1,000 lines of code within your program, and if there are 250 errors in your program, when you perform compilation, all 250 errors at once will be thrown on your face. Is it possible for you to remember all 250 errors and in which line the error has occurred? No, one by one you have to rectify, once again compile, rectify, compile. But in case of interpreter, only in that line, what error is there, only that error will be displayed to you. You rectify, execution will go to the next line. If there is an error, immediately go to that line, please rectify it. I hope all of you have understood. So debugging is going to be easier in terms of interpretation. In terms of compilation, speed of execution is going to be better. Right. Another difference. Let us say these two programs, both of these programs, I want to execute 100 times. I want to execute 100 times. In which of these two cases, compilation and interpretation, source code is mandatory for every execution? If source code is not there, I can't execute. Tell me in which case, compilation or interpretation? Yesh Sonavane, attendance link was already shared at 7:30, man. You are late to the class. So attendance is already given.
No, sir. I have to give because you are continuing the topic, right? That's why I'm waiting.
Yeah, I get it, ma'am. I think he has just now joined, so just trying to done. So tell me, which of these two processes are better, compilation or interpretation? For repetitive execution, in which case source code is needed for every execution? No, some of you are telling compilation. Why? See, just understand this once again. All of you look at this. Let us say, once I have the source code, if I compile, I'll get the object code, then I will get the executable code. Listen to me, everyone. Do not send me your answers enough. I got the executable code. Let us say, once I got the executable code, I have lost my source code. Now you think an answer, but executable code is safe in my computer. Taking this executable code, can I execute it 100 times? Yes. Why do I need a source code? I hope all of you are understanding it. Source code is not needed for repetitive execution in case of compilation. Why? Because separately executable code will be saved on your hard disk. Now please think an answer. In case of interpretation, if I lose the source code, can I execute the program again? 100% it is not possible, because whatever machine level language code that was generated, it was generated directly on the RAM. And RAM is a temporary memory device. Once the code is generated, executed, it is deleted. Next time you want to execute, compulsorily you should give me source code. I hope you are understanding the differences. Now comes the climax of this entire story. Why is this important for a Java class? Listen to this. C, C++, and like this, there are many other languages, are pure compiled programming languages. They are pure compiled. That means you can't tell me, sir, I will write C++ program, but I want to interpret it. You can't tell me that, because the language creator at the time of creation, he had to choose, should my language be compiled or should it be interpreted? Already the decision has been made. You should only know which language is compiled, which language is interpreted. Similarly, when it comes to interpretation, JavaScript is an interpreted programming language. There is a language called as Perl. There is a language called as Ruby. All of these are pure interpreted programming languages. Are you guys understanding? Sir, we see most of the languages here, but where is our favorite language, sir? Where is Java? Is what Rishi is asking. Good, please understand. Java happens to be a hybrid programming language. That means it is both compiled as well as interpreted. It is both compiled and interpreted. Sir, how can a language be both compiled as well as interpreted, sir? That is what next you're going to be understanding it. Am I clear with this? But through this topic, I wanted to explain what is the difference between compilation and interpretation. I hope that aspect, all of you have understood it clearly. Is that clear, everyone? Now, how Java uses both compiler and interpreter, sir? For that, you need to have patience, sir. I will explain. Is that clear, everyone? Right, perfect. So all of you can keep staring at my screen and try to remember the differences. Meanwhile, the attendance and feedback link is going to be shared in the meeting chat. Please complete giving the attendance as well as the feedback. Chandana ma'am, can you please share the attendance link?
Yes, I sent already. Please check again.
No, we didn't receive it in the meeting chat. Now it's received. Please complete the attendance, everyone. Kindly let me know once the attendance is completed. Make sure from tomorrow onwards, you don't forget this fact. Attendance link would be shared randomly between the 2 hours of discussion, not from 8:30 to 9. Can I proceed, everyone, if it is completed? Great. I see. Nutan seems like a Python fan here. Good, good. Any language. It is just a medium. What is important is your logical thinking skills, your problem solving skills. Language is just a medium to translate your thinking into the program code. Okay, good. That suddenly the attendance training program audience have completed their job and they have also taken their way out. From tomorrow, it is there for them. Right. Did all of you understand the difference between compiler and interpreter? Okay, let's proceed quickly then. Observe this, everyone. What is it next you're going to be discussing, sir? Understand this. You'll understand it. Don't worry about it. All of the doubts and other things that you have, please jot it down. At the end of the discussion, you're going to be understanding. Let us say this is the developer's computer. Some developer who is maybe sitting somewhere in USA. It is his computer. And maybe, let us say, this is the user's computer. And where is this person present, sir? Maybe this person is present somewhere in India. This is another developer's computer. Where is this person present, sir? Maybe this person is present somewhere in, let us say, Russia. And this is another user's computer. And this person is present somewhere in Canada. So 4 different computers is what we have on our screen. Though I have got just 10 minutes, but the last 10 minutes of discussion, I can't put it in words how crucial it is. So please understand it, because this is going to appear in the assessment that can be conducted tomorrow. It can be conducted day after tomorrow. So I have to go with the plan that today these many topics have to be conducted. Tomorrow, the other set of topics have to be completed. Only then the assessment can be provided. So that is the reason why I'm discussing this. Let us say on this computer, now see, the topic I'm going to discuss here. Okay, I'll do one thing. It's better first I start explaining to you. Okay, see, what you need to understand is, I told you, the most important feature of Java, if anybody would ask you, it is undoubtedly the platform independent feature. Java is a platform independent language. Good, Rasidna. Now, I want to explain to you, and you should also learn the art of explaining how Java has achieved platform independency in your interviews. How are you going to explain? See, this term called as platform independent, it is a technical phrase here. It is a technical phrase. It is actually made up of 2 different words. So only for the sake of understanding, we will split these 2 words into 2 different words, platform and independence. Independent, we'll understand it later. First, I want to understand what is the meaning of this word called as platform. You see, I want to understand what is the meaning of this word called as platform. What is a platform, sir? No, platform means it is not your railway station platform where people would be waiting for to onboard the trains. Platform of a computer system is nothing but the combination of hardware and software component of a computer. That's all. Hardware and software components of a computer. That combination is what, my friends, is referred to as a platform. As simple as that. I hope all of you have understood. What is the meaning of a platform? Platform of a computer refers to the combination of hardware and software components of a computer. Sir, there will be so many hardware components. There are so many softwares installed in my computer. Which hardware, which software component are you referring to, sir? Terms and conditions apply. Most important hardware component, most important software component. That means you think an answer. Which is the most important hardware component within your computer? Very good. It is the microprocessor or the CPU. See, this is the most important hardware component. Which is the most important software component? Can you tell me? There are so many softwares in your computer: Zoom, Notepad, Paint, the Eclipse IDE, compilers, many things. Which is most important? Very good. Operating system is the most important component. Congratulations. This combination is what is technically referred to as the platform of a computer. Sir, can you give an example? Sir, of course, why not? See, observe this. Maybe in my computer, I have got Intel i7 processor, maybe fifth gen, along with the generation if you want. Okay, good. Next, what about the operating system, sir? Maybe the operating system in my computer, it is the Windows 11 operating system. So if anybody would ask me, Zabi, what is the platform of your computer? I would say Intel i5 5th gen processor along with Windows 11. That is the platform of my computer. That's all. I hope all of you are understanding. Maybe to some other user, if I would ask the same question, maybe let us say there is another kind of processors called as the AMD processor, AMD Ryzen series processor, maybe Ryzen 9. And see, good, Rakesh. And maybe in his computer, the operating system maybe that person is using is the Linux operating system that person is using. Then that happens to be the platform of that computer. Maybe there is also this IBM series processor, IBM Power 10 is the processor. Along with that, maybe the operating system that person is using is the Mac operating system, Mac OS, the Macintosh operating system. Usually it would be there in the electronic devices which you will be able to afford only after selling one of your kidneys. So I hope all of you are understanding. Good. Good. So see, this happens to be the platform. Did all of you understand so far? Perfect. Any doubt with respect to platform? Platform simply means the combination of hardware and software components of a computer system. Hardware means keyboard is hardware, monitor is hardware. No, no, no. Most important hardware, most important software, microprocessor and operating system. That combination is what is referred to as a platform. I have also given the examples here. Great. But then this is the definition of a platform from a hardware engineering perspective. But I don't think so any of you here are attending the Java programming training program to become a hardware engineer. All of us here are aspiring to become software engineers. So, sir, then what really is the definition from a software engineering perspective? That is what I'm going to teach you next. Very simple. In general, platform is hardware plus software. But if you want a definition of platform from the software engineering perspective, very simple, man, not at all complicated. Simply ignore the hardware part, only consider the software component here. That's all. This itself is going to be the definition of a platform from the software engineering perspective. That means, can you simply tell me what is a platform from a software engineering perspective? Most important software. Which is the most important software in your computer? Very good. The most important software within your computer happens to be the operating system. Just a second. Maybe I'll just highlight it like this. So all of my students in the remaining 10 classes of mine, whenever I refer to the word platform, immediately you should understand that Zabi sir is referring to the operating system of a computer. As simple as that. So it is just a hi-fi technical word, platform, but I have simplified it and you have to understand it is nothing but the operating system. So I'm giving out the definition now. platform of a computer from a software engineering perspective simply refers to the underlying operating system of a computer. That's all. That means now from software engineering perspective, if you ask me, Zabi sir, what is the platform of your computer? This time I will not tell Intel, i5 and all. I will simply tell Windows operating system. That's all. Windows 11 is the platform of my computer. Now, if there is a Linux user, Linux is the platform. If there is a Apple Mac user, then that person is simply going to tell it is the Mac OS, Macintosh operating system. That's all. Am I clear with this, everyone? And now, if you have understood what is the meaning of platform, I don't have to explain to you what is the meaning of independence. Something that is not dependent on the entity is called as independent. Operating system independent is what is referred to as platform independence. Am I clear with this? Now, what really is the meaning of this? That is what I'm going to explain next. Observe this with a very suitable example. You're going to understand it. Let us say, maybe you will understand. Okay, let us say this is the developer's computer. Just now I told you, does every computer have a platform? Yes. What is the meaning of platform? Hey, don't forget, nothing but operating system. So, sir, what is the operating system of this platform, sir? Maybe the operating system, the platform of this computer happens to be the Windows platform. Let us say it is a developer's computer. Now, this person on his computer is going to develop an application. Which application, sir? Maybe he is going to develop the WhatsApp application. Can anybody tell me what is the definition of application or software? Collection of programs. What is a program? Set of instructions. How do you write those instructions? Using a programming language. That means common sense. To develop this WhatsApp also, should the developer be using one or the other programming language? Absolutely yes. So, sir, which language is that person using, sir? Maybe he has used C language to develop WhatsApp application. Wonderful application it is. It can be used to communicate between two individuals. You can use it for chatting. Many other applications are there. He feels I have to give it to a lot of people out in the world so that everybody can start using WhatsApp. Let us say there are 3 users for this computer. And all of the 3 users on their computers, obviously they will have different platforms. That cannot be guaranteed. Maybe let us say the platform of the first computer happens to be the same Windows platform. The platform of the next computer, maybe let us assume it is the Linux platform. Similarly, the platform of the last computer here happens to be the Macintosh operating system. Next word, sir. Let us say through some means, all of these devices are connected with each other. How, sir? Maybe through LAN cable, through internet connection, some kind of networking is there, and they're connected. All of these are connected computers. Now, if the WhatsApp application is being downloaded and it is being installed on Windows, if you ask me, will I be able to run WhatsApp on Windows computer, which was also developed on Windows computer? 100% yes, this is going to be possible. But if you ask me, sir, can I take this WhatsApp application, which was developed on Windows, can I execute it on Linux? Can I run this application on Linux? I am extremely sorry to reveal this. It is definitely not possible. Why, sir? Because your WhatsApp is a platform dependent application. Now, I know there is a big question mark. Sir, how come my WhatsApp has become platform dependent application, sir? Because to develop this application, what language did you use, my friends? C language. What type of a language C language is? It is a platform dependent programming language. If you develop a software using a platform dependent programming language, that software application will also become platform dependent. Just now I told you, what is the definition of a platform? Platform refers to operating system. It is going to be operating system dependent. It means the operating system on which it was developed and compiled and the operating system on which it is being executed, both of them should match. If there is a mismatch, it cannot be executed. This is the property of a platform dependent application, nature of platform dependent applications. Is that clear, everyone? You have to answer this to me now. Can I run WhatsApp on Macintosh operating system now on this computer? 100% no. Here also I will not be able to run it. I hope through this you have been able to understand what is the meaning of platform dependency. This is what is called as platform dependency. If this is platform dependency, can you tell me what is platform independency? I'm waiting for your responses. Let us say the same scenario. Again, I don't want to waste both of our time here, though the diagram might not look very neat and clean, but I will try to fit whatever is possible here. Let us say same developer. To develop WhatsApp, he has to choose a programming language. But luckily, he happens to be Zabi sir's student. So he decided, hey, WhatsApp will be used by multiple users. Now I can't guarantee every user to have the same platform that is there in my computer. So I will very smartly choose a platform independent programming language. Which language, sir? Why do you even have a doubt about it? He is definitely going to choose Java to develop WhatsApp. Now you think an answer. Is Java platform dependent or platform independent? Platform independent. That means can I run WhatsApp now, which is developed using a platform independent programming language on every single computer, irrespective of the underlying platform? 100% yes. See, not only on Windows, though it was developed on Windows. If you ask me, Zabi sir, now can I run WhatsApp on Linux also, Macintosh based operating system computer also? 100% yes, undoubtedly. This is the meaning of platform independency. Am I clear with this, everyone? You think an answer. Whatever WhatsApp that we are using in our mobile phones today, is it platform dependent or platform independent? Very good. It is platform independent. That is why Android operating system users are also able to use, Windows users are also able to use, the iOS operating system users are also able to use this. Did you understand what is the meaning of platform, platform dependency, platform independency? Please have a thorough glance of everything that's on my screen. Platform simply refers to the underlying operating system of a computer. Do not forget this statement. Platform of a computer refers to the hardware and software components of a computer, that combination. But from a software engineering perspective, a platform of a computer simply refers to the underlying operating system. Platform dependency means what? Platform independency means what? Am I clear with this, everyone? But now the bigger question is, why is that application developed using platform dependent programming language can be executed only on the same platforms, not on the other platforms? How come an application developed using platform independent programming language can be executed on all the platforms? As my students, this is not how I'm going to teach platform dependency and independency. We will go in depth and understand what goes wrong in platform dependency and what goes right in platform independency. The why factor behind both of these things is what we are going to understand in the next class. In detail, I will do the code conversion. Everything will be shown practically to all of you. How is that Java has been able to achieve platform independency? Interview's favorite question it is going to be. That also I would be explaining it in tomorrow's class. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Right. If you want to take a screenshot, you can Please take a screenshot of this as well. Right, then, perfect. It's past 9, so we will have to end the session for today. Now, I'm going to be there in the session for another 5 more minutes. If you people have any doubts for me, any questions for me with respect to whatever I have spoken so far, not just in today's class, in the previous classes also, please feel free to put it in the chat section. Can you please repeat the tomorrow's assignment questions? Simple. Difference between header file and library file. Today's session is super and mind-blowing, sir. I'm very blessed to have you in our session. I'm getting knowledge about the basics. Thank you so much. You're most welcome. Can you please send the question once again, Vaishnavi? I got a lot of information. Happy to know that. I'm sorry, Alekia. I don't know if I might be wrong in pronouncing your name. Sorry about it. Thank you so much, Srushti, for the compliment. Prajyot, Anand. No, I mean, I'm very grateful for the appreciation and for the compliments. I'm waiting if there are any questions for today. Okay. If you develop an application with a dependent platform, then there is no use, no sir. Then you have chosen that language, sir. I didn't really understand the question, Durga. You use a platform dependent language whenever there is no question of portability. For example, system softwares, your operating system. Are you using the operating system which is going to be internet compatible remotely across different devices? No, it is local. So here the question of platform independency, there is that need itself doesn't arise here. Vaishnavi, I would have missed those questions in the chat here. It would have just been popped up. So that might be the reason. If in case there is anything now, you can please put it across to me. No, Anuradha, Java is a programming language. .NET happens to be a framework of C#. So your question should be Java comparison with C#. And the reason, very simple, it is owned by Microsoft. A C# is an in-house product of Microsoft. They use it, they have created their own language to develop the Microsoft products. MS Word, MS Excel. But Java, I mean, I've already spoken about it in the history. Freely available, at least for 15 long years, 95 to 2010. Why shouldn't I use Java? Why shouldn't I prefer over C#? Thank you, Rakhi. Thank you, Durga. Sure, Harshita. At the end of the training program, I will also tell you what type of certifications that you need to have so that you increase the weightage of your profiles. On the last day, there is a lot for me to speak. You're most welcome, Jamila. Thank you so much for the compliment. I hope all of you are also connected to me on LinkedIn. Sir, I'm in mechanical engineering. I understand very clearly what you teach, sir, but can you say how is this going to help me out in my stream of line? Does Java used in any of mechanical software? 100% yes. I can't say only Java. Today, there is not a single industry, Rashik, out in the world which is not going to be impacted with these softwares, which is not going to be automated. I mean, coming from mechanical engineering, you should have been exposed to more of these softwares because we in the IT industry, we develop these softwares, but you see where it is going to be used. Your mechanical engineering domain has been highly impacted with softwares. We live in a digital era where everything is being automated, from the ICU room in the hospitals till the what do you say, the hotel rooms, which have this automated way of entering the rooms. Everything has been automated today. So without softwares, extremely difficult life is going to be. So according to me, not just mechanical engineering, electronics background also, there might be a lot of students. A best electronics engineer is going to be somebody who not only understands the internal working of the motor which is there in the fan, he also knows, he also has the coding skills with him. Because tomorrow, if this person joins a company like Bosch, joins a company like GE, now they realize there is this concept of automated fans. Have you seen it? These days, you don't really have to turn on the fan through the switches on the switchboard. Through the remotes, you can do it. Now they want such an electronics engineer who is well versed with the working of the motor inside the fan. At the same time, if tomorrow anything has to be automated, if anything should become a smart fan, smart bulbs, we see that is happening today. Then coding skills are also extremely important. So this combination any day is the best combination, even if you have to get into your core domains also. A good mechanical engineer, according to me, is not only a person who has the specialization with respect to the mechanical engineering skills. At the same time, he also has the coding knowledge, much preferred resource by the industry, by your industry. Kalyani, that was the choice of the Stru. He decided that C++ has to be a compiled programming language. I can't find you on LinkedIn. I feel very heartbroken when you say this. You just type my name and you'll be able to find me on LinkedIn. I'll better just change my name here also in the participant so that my entire name is going to be displayed. So just a second. %, Lakshmi. There are many APIs in Java that you can use for machine learning algorithms also. Right. Any other questions for me? What are the requirements of IT industry in 2020? I have already told you. 30 years before, in the past, present, in the future, the only hot selling skill you need to have to get into the IT industry is the problem solving skills. That is going to be my one line answer. Header file and library file, Teja. All right, everyone, it's already 9:15. Thank you so much. And to the YouTube audience also, I'm sorry that I don't have the access to the YouTube live chat. It is going to be extremely difficult to juggle between Zoom and YouTube while the session is being done. But make sure, if it is possible, that you get connected through the Zoom itself. So please contact the ExcelR team. They will tell you the channel how you can receive the Zoom meeting link on a daily basis for to get connected with these sessions. It would be helpful for me to respond to your queries also while the session is going on. Right, everyone. How much Java is needed for a fresher to get into AI and ML? Last question is what I'm answering here. See, I'll be honest with you. It is quite difficult. I mean, I'm not telling it is impossible, but the chances are going to be very less to get into such niche domains to start your career as a fresher. I don't know how many of you, I mean, I understand where this is coming from. All of you are so fascinated with these fancy words: artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, data science. Oh, too fancy. But what you need to have to get into these domains, there is something called as domain expertise, which all of these people who are trying to tell you to get into those domains are clearly hiding this fact. I'm not telling freshers are not recruited at all. Definitely, there are going to be cases where here and there 1 or 2 freshers would be recruited in these domains. But when you compare the AI, ML, and data science domains with full stack domains, you see huge mass of freshers can be recruited in this domain because here prior experience is not needed. Freshers are going to be okay. But in this niche domain, you have to play around with the data. You have to extract insights from the data. It needs a lot of domain expertise for what domain the application is being developed. That is why I would any day recommend this roadmap for all of you. First, get into the industry in on any of the technical roles. Of course, you should not get into any non-tech BPO, KPO. It should be a technical role, either a testing role or a development role. There are so many roles available. Maybe you could get into the cloud platform. You could get into the Salesforce domain. I don't know. In India, you feel only software development is valued. Software testing is not valued. Wrong. That is also a hardcore technical role. There are at least 17 technical domains in the software industry. Out of 17, you know only one, developer. Only that is respected. Wrong, man. Anyways, get into one of the technical roles, work in the industry for at least minimum 2 years. Then if you think, no, I am tired, this is boring, routine life it has become, I think it is, I want to stay in the IT industry, but I would like to switch my domain to data science. That is the right time for you to switch. As a fresher, do not waste your time trying to getting into these domains. It is extremely difficult. Okay, enough of the discussion today. It's already 9:18. We shall continue the discussion in tomorrow's class. Please make sure, be prepared for the surprise quiz. It can be any day. All right, everyone. Thank you so much once again for patiently bearing me for more than 2 hours now. I believe I have definitely added more information to your existing knowledge. I have enhanced your knowledge levels. So uh, keep learning, and we shall meet tomorrow exactly at sharp 7 o'clock. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family members. Good night, everyone.
Hello, guys. Hope you enjoy the session. I'm thanking to Syed sir for a wonderful and informative session. I'm pasting the attendance link in the chat box. Whoever missed it, please mark the attendance. I hope there is no any questions for me. So I'm ending the session. Good night, guys. Tomorrow, same time, we'll see.